Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are gonna talk about Hertz. Okay, Hertz. If you don't know and you're watching this video for the first time, Hertz purchased 100,000 cars from Tesla. Okay, they purchased 100,000 cars, and they are basically gonna be renting it out to people. And when Robotaxi awakens, okay, when Robotaxi is all good to go, approved and all good to go, they are going to be the largest Robotaxi fleet operator that exists at that time. Apart from Tesla, that is basically the people that are creating the cars. They are basically going to be the largest fleet operator of Robotaxi in the next couple of years, in my own opinion, because they're buying 100,000 cars from Tesla. They're gonna rent it out to people first. I think this is a big move for Hertz. They're basically positioning themselves as the next nice company when it comes to this electric vehicle situation, and they're gonna have access to Robotaxi. That's the holy grail when it comes to what they're trying to do. Maybe that can easily be making them $1 or $2 billion in the future. Because of this purchase, I'm actually really considering, and I'm making active moves. Start buying Hertz stock. Is at 30 something dollar right now. I'm making active move to buy some and just keep on buying as much as I can over time, because 2-3 years from now, I think this is going to be a company that's going to be making a lot of money. Like, the chances of them going bankrupt with this kind of pivots, it's very slim in my own opinion. So what we're going to do now is we are going to watch a CNBC interview of Hertz CEO, so we can get into his brain a little bit, so we can understand why he decided to buy that much cars for his company. He used to be an ex Ford CEO. I did a video about this. I'm going to leave it in the cards. You can check it out. 2 videos actually. So I'm going to leave both of them in the cards. You can go check it out. It'll be right up there. So this is an interview of Hertz CEO. This is Hertz CEO right here, and he's talking right now. At this point of the interview, you guys notice the stock price $27. It's gone to 30 something right now. I think this is going to be a good play, in the future. So I'm really keeping an eye on, a close eye on Hertz. But yeah, let's get into this interview and see what he has to say.
And I don't see how you could say that I'm wrong here. You have had an evolving view of Tesla in a very short period of time. And I'm alluding to some comments. You thought it was a Tesla bear, and then the big order for Tesla. But back in June, I think you said Tesla's never had the kind of competition it's going to see from the majors, although you're also known as not being a big fan of the way Detroit was doing business.
Now, let's understand that people have the right to have an opinion. This is why we have, the First Amendment in the United States. This is why we have freedom of speech. This news channel, they have, the right to say whatever they want to say, and him too, the CEO, the Ford CEO, he has a right to change his mind on his thinking based on, maybe he didn't know much about Tesla before. Now he's done a lot of research. He has a lot of people working for him, and they've done research, and they figure, hey, let's pivot to this Robotaxi way, because this is definitely going to be the future. Because remember, you don't make money when you realize this is the thing, this is the thing. You make money when you think ahead about what's going to happen in the future. Okay, just keep that in mind when you watch this video.
Towards the end either. But you said that back in June, and now you're saying the competition that you alluded to in June, they don't have the scale. Only Tesla has the scale to mass produce a great EV. So did it evolve, or did we misunderstand what you were talking about back in June?
Well, over time, I've been making comments around Tesla. And listen, at the end of the day, what Tesla has done is push the industry, and rightfully so, towards electrification and sustainable transportation. And as you look at our strategy, going forward, again, we want to lead in helping the industry have the consumers be able to adopt electrified vehicles. And
think about what he just said. They are a rental car company. If, let's say, you as an individual, you went out to Miami, like I'm talking from a guy's perspective, right? You go out to Miami with your boys, like you take a boys trip out, whatever, like, you want to get into a nice car. Well, you're going to go to Hertz and get a nice Tesla. You pull up, you do your thing, that's a nice car. Nowadays people see you in a Tesla, they're like, yo, you're doing your thing, So at the same time, the things that is accomplishing is like the person don't have to go straight up and buy the car. They can just give the car a test run for like $100 per day or $200 for 2 days. Like a couple of people chip in, traveling together, a couple of people chip in. They get to experience the car together. They go home. They're like, damn, like this car is quite nice. You just accelerate, you just do its thing. Like this car is nice. Like I'm going to buy one for myself. It's a great advertising for Tesla that they don't have to pay for. And when it comes to something like Hertz, they're going to be seen as the leader when it comes to rental car companies. Like Hertz is doing two things here, okay? They are basically positioning themselves as, hey, we're the next, when it comes to renting a car, you want to come to us because we have the latest car from Tesla. We have the latest advanced car that you can drive and test out. And at the same time, they also have a huge fleet that will be ready to go to take people around when Robotaxi becomes a thing. So let's continue. Just keep these points in mind.
Do our part in sustainable transportation. And right now, Tesla is the only manufacturer that's producing at scale. Mm-hmm. So we obviously started having discussions with them. And actually, this is not very transactional. Our two main shareholders started having discussions with Tesla, many months ago, because this is about relationships. And so, from that standpoint, the Tesla relationship is very important to us. But I also want to make the point, Joe, that we have relationships with all of the automakers, and we want to help them as they introduce their electrified vehicles. We're going to them not on a kind of transactional basis. Hey, how can you give us some more cars? It's a strategic discussion that says, how can we help you achieve your objectives?
You guys notice why he just did that? He's, in my opinion, okay, this is all my opinion. I'm not in his head. And, I don't know what's going on in his head. But in my case, what I'm hearing from him is like, whoa, listen, if you want people to try out your cars, you can give us some cars. People can try it out. They can get a feel of it. But I don't think we're going to be buying your cars. We're good with our Tesla, but like, if you want people to try out your car and you want to get some exposure, you can give us some cars. We'll rent it out to people. We work out a deal. But like, we're not buying major cars from you because you don't have the infrastructure. You don't have the charging station. You don't have the range. You don't have all this stuff that Tesla has. So, that is like a subtle jab there at the legacy automakers. One for Tesla.
We've done that with Tesla. And our intent is to do that with all of the automakers.
We were having GM CEO Mary Barra on a little bit later in the show. Do you think is anyone in second place? Is everybody besides Tesla tied at some lower? They're all tied in fifth place. What would you say? Ford, General Motors. You've got some of the European automakers and Volkswagen. You got Chinese EV makers. Who's doing well in terms of competition for Tesla in your view?
Okay.
Well, the good news overall is you're having all of the major automakers make.
Okay, so you guys look at this. Let me just move myself out of the way for a second so you can take a look at the car. You guys see the car right here? Great advertising. Hertz is putting himself with Tesla, aligning themselves with the bigger brand in the EV sector. So people that are conscious about like traveling and what they drive, they're going to be renting a Tesla from Hertz.
Major investments in electrification. And as you know, when I was CEO of Ford, we started doing that as well. And so when you look at the landscape, clearly Tesla was a first mover in this case. And therefore, because they're...
My problem with when people say Tesla is the first mover is like, Tesla created this industry. They pioneered this industry. I mean, it has been in existence before. People have tried to make electric cars for hundreds of years. Even Ford did 100 years ago, but nobody has been able to make it a success. Bring it to commerce. Bring it to life up to this scale. And Tesla is just basically going to deliver their first maybe 900,000 cars this year. And someone like Toyota makes 20, 30 million cars a year. So look at the growth that still needs to happen for Tesla. Huge.
Scale. That's why we approach Tesla, and we have a great relationship with them. But when you look at the other automakers, General Motors is coming out with many products over the next couple of years. Ford has made a big commitment. Their Mach-E has been very successful in the marketplace.
Boy, it didn't buy one. It didn't even buy 5,000 Mach-E. It used to be an ex-Ford CEO. He didn't buy one. He bought 100,000 Tesla. Look, you guys look at it right there at the bottom. He bought 100,000 Teslas. That's the difference.
They're coming with the Lightning, the F-150 Lightning,
okay.
And they've made a number of announcements on their commitment of electrified models that are coming. Volkswagen has been very clear in their pivot to electrified vehicles through their ID4 and ID3 and their whole range of vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, the major automakers are making a big push in this regard, and that's why it's important for us to talk with them at a strategic level and say, how can we help you? How can we bring our core competencies at Hertz around managing large fleets and help you achieve your objectives?
Mm-hmm. How much, calculation had to go into the idea of having a big rental fleet, 100,000 cars of EVs? I guess EVs don't break down like normal.
They don't sugarcoat it. They don't break down like normal cars. They don't have gas. They don't have all these components that goes into an engine. It's more streamlined. It's clean. Just don't sugarcoat it. It's way better than the previous generation of vehicles that we have on this planet. Not to talk about it takes a lot to make the battery to the environment. It damages the environment temporarily, but the lifetime use of that car could offset the damage that it did, or the pollution that it created making the car. So it's still a nice, balance. So let's get into it.
Internal combustion engines, I guess, but Hertz has to be there in terms of support for when they rent someone a car. And then there's charging stations and all those things. I mean, there's a lot of things that would go into someone walking in and saying, yeah, rent me a Tesla. At this point, I'd think about it, but I'm old-fashioned, but did that go into the calculation?
Well, absolutely. Listen, you can have a great strategy, but ultimately you got to be able to operationalize it. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at our relationship with Tesla and the purchase of the vehicles, if you notice when we made the announcement on Monday, it's not only about an investment in vehicles. Mm-hmm. It's a very big commitment on building out our charging infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing that that I didn't even think about. Now you're gonna be able to charge probably your Tesla in your local Hertz location, and they have a bunch of Hertz location. Tesla can tap into the space that Hertz has for people to charge their car. So that's more places where people will charge their car, which means Tesla if you own a Tesla, you're more likely to have a place to charge your car at any time, anywhere, because Hertz, they are everywhere. In America, in Europe, they are everywhere.
That are on airports locations and
mm-hmm.
are off airport locations.
Mm-hmm.
And so from our standpoint, we're operationalizing it and making it easy for customers to rent. They won't have the range anxieties. Mm-hmm. And I think importantly, Joe, what this is going to do, we are going to become expert mm-hmm. on managing large electrified fleets.
Robotaxi, guys. Robotaxi. I keep telling you guys, Robotaxi. They're trying to become expert at managing large fleet. Robotaxi.
Well before our competition. And I think that's going to pay a lot of benefits for us today. And as you think towards autonomy down the road.
Keep telling you guys, autonomy down the road. Autonomy down the road.
we think will solidify our position or create a bit of a moat on being that kind of central component of the mobility ecosystem. Because,
as you guys know on this channel, I love companies that have moats, that creates basically barriers for other people to be able to come in and take up their business. So if there's a bunch of charging station at Hertz that maybe is only Hertz customers / Tesla customers only that can use the charging station, that is more reasons why people will buy Tesla, because like you are able to charge it at multiple places. There's a lot of things that will factor into people buying an electric vehicle as compared to a gas car. And they are trying to make themselves like the #1 place after Tesla that people can go to access charging cars, possibly maybe even repairs in the future. Who knows?
There's, many providers of products and services are going to need that, and we want to be there for them.
So that is it with that section there. Lots of gems, lots of great information. If you want to watch the entire interview without me interrupting, I'm going to leave it at the end of the video. You can catch it, and I'm also going to put a timestamp right here where you can go and catch that video at the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this kind of content, subscribe. I appreciate you. Until next time, see you later. Love you all. Bye.